Hey guys, and welcome back to the BS of Society. So there was one thing I missed in Honky Impact, but I'm not going to cover it until I get to the weekly bosses in Genshin Impact. So now I'm ready to talk about Genshin Impact and my issues with it. Um, and then afterwards I'll get into my issues with the Genshin community. But for the Genshin Impact game itself, first thing I'd like to ask is, where is the Switch version? We have waited almost a full year for that, and there has been like no updates for the Switch version. I mean, I can understand if the Switch can't handle it because even my Red Magic is pretty much still operating at like mid tier, so that way I don't have to turn on all of my fans and drain my battery power. But yeah, at least give players an update on that, please, because I know there are a lot of people that are waiting on the Switch version. And at least tell them to just not even think about it coming. You know, just please. But for the game itself, I guess I'll go in order of, basically when you run across these issues. So, the main character, okay, can we have the ability to switch the gender, like switch who you're using between Aether and Lumine? And also, can Aether and Lumine not use the name that I wish to give my account? Okay? Because every single time I'm looking, at the text in the game, I always have to replace my name with Lumine, because I'm playing with Lumine. And that is getting annoying to the point where the other day I actually changed my account name to Lumine, because I got sick and tired of having to replace her name. Her name is Lumine, not my name, okay? And Aether's the only one that called her Lumine. Okay, and that would be vice versa as well. So, come on, dude. Please allow us to have her name separate from our main name. And allow us to switch the gender, or, to switch the main MC that we're using. So that way we can have a taste of both without having to make a new account. And then the wish system. Okay, I understand why there's a 0.6% rate, because constellations honestly have a lot more value than duplicates in other games, including Honky Impact. Because Honky Impact, whenever you get a duplicate, you don't get a full, you don't get a full rank up. You don't get much. Right, so I understand that, but the system is just completely trash. Okay, first of all, when you get to your first pity for a 5-star, you are not even guaranteed the character. Okay? So if you don't get the character, the next 5-star will obviously be the 5-star that you're actually trying to get. Okay? So then you get that 5-star. Well, then you would have to go basically a whole nother 180 pulls before you're actually guaranteed to get them. Now, if you get your guaranteed character, right, on the first pull, the way I read it is basically you would have to go basically up to another 90 pulls just to get a 5-star that's not on the banner. And then you would have to go another 90 pulls just to even have a chance for the 5-star that's on the banner. And then if you don't get them, then you have to go another 90 pulls to actually get the 5-star. So basically meaning you're going up to 270 pulls before you get the 5-star that you actually want. In terms of primos, you're spending more to get the 5-star that you actually want on Genshin than you are on Honky. Now, every pull on Genshin Impact costs 160 Primo Gems. Now, in terms of Honky Impact, Primo Gems actually go a bit further. But my question is, can Acquaint Fates be worth 100 Primo Gems instead of 160 because you're pulling on a much bigger character pool? Okay, the same way as Honky Impact is. On Honky Impact, it's 200 crystals for dorm supply no matter when you pull it, and 280 for the other supply, right? For the focus supply drops. Can we have some similarities between Genshin and Honky for that, please? Weapon banners, just like on Honky Impact, are trash, okay? There is no excuse for somebody to be able to spend $1,000, and I think we all know who we're referring to here, on a Staff of Homa and not get it. Okay? That is like Fate Grand Order vibes right here. Okay? And the reason why that happens is because you have 2 5-stars instead of just 1 5-star on the weapon banner. So, not only do you have that 50-50 on if you'll get anything off the banner, but then you have basically another 50-50 on those 2 weapons. So you could end up never getting the weapon that you actually want. So, basically, the weapon banner's a trap. And is absolutely worthless. It's the same thing as what happened with me with Stigmatas on Honky, where basically I went through 100 plus pulls. I could have went through 200 or 500 pulls before I got the Stigmata that I needed. That's ridiculous. And it's the exact reason why there's so much of a problem with gacha games. And it's why Genshin is hated on so much. Because of that. You know, and honestly, Genshin's a great game for, you know, gachas in general because we've never seen an open world gacha game. Okay, even Honky Impact, there was never really a gacha game on its level. You know, maybe besides like Punishing Gray Raven or something, but even then, those two were like what, made at the same time? Or I think Punishing Gray Raven was made after Honky. So Honky was a really, really good game, you know, to push forward gacha games to make them better. Okay. And then we have the resin system, which pretty much after you get your wishes unlocked, you kind of start getting into the resin ordeal. Resin is about as bad on Genshin as it is for Honky, especially, you know, the reason why I can go through Honky so quickly is because obviously I have good characters. The same thing happens in Genshin. Once you get all of the good characters, you start blowing through your resin in like less than a minute per run. Okay, and everything in Genshin costs at least 20 resin. At least 20. And your cap was originally 120, now it's 160. And the regen rate is 8 minutes. Okay, I liked it when you moved the cap up, but 160 is nothing when you don't decrease the time. And I have said this in a lot of comment posts that they should decrease the amount of time per resin to 6 minutes. Because that would put the game on par with Honky Impact. And what I think they should do for resin cap is make it scale with your world level. You know, your maximum world level, right? So if you're at world level 1, your cap is, say, or world level 0, say your cap would be 80. Okay, and then when you get to the maximum world level, your resin cap goes up by 20 each time. Okay, and then you make the regen time 6 minutes, right? And then they would be just like Honky, right? Where your cap goes up, because the cap on Honky for stamina is 80 when you start the game, and then it scales by 1 for each level you have. So now the cap is at 168, because the captain level cap is level 88, okay? And then this is where we go on to weekly bosses, and this is the last thing I'll say, because I'm running out of time. Weekly bosses should not be capped to 1 time a week when they need 60 resin for each run. Okay, and this is the same thing with Honky. Why are there stage caps? Every single stage that you need to be able to farm on Honky have a stage cap. You can only run them 3 times a day. Okay, and that's something Genshin players don't understand about Honky. Even if you have a ton of potions, you cannot run Honky all day. Genshin, you technically can, except for weekly bosses. Okay, and especially with the crown system that I'll get into in the next video, there's no reason to have this system. Anyways, I am literally out of time, so I will continue this in the next video. Leave your comments, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Later.
ゼーレは会いに来たよ。